What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. I am just going to present to you a couple decks that we got going on right now. We have lots of ideas just flowing lately, just kind of on the heel of the summer. And I haven't showed you some of these commander decks in paper yet. So I'm kind of excited to show you some of the ideas I'm rolling with. Today, I'm going to show you a little bit of my Myrel, the Shield of Argiv, and then I'm going to roll into my Maria deck, which will be like a little bit more high powered. So we'll talk about that one. First of all, what a sweet commander we have right here. Myrel, the Shield of Argiv, a 3 colorless, 1 plains, legendary creature, human soldier. It is from the Brothers War set, which is just an absolute bomb of a set. If you haven't picked up any of those, packs, pick up the set packs. I kid you not, I pulled a Gix and a Myrel in the same pack, a set pack. It was a mega hit. So there's just some mega bombs in there. You can even get like Mox Ambers and such. Honestly, I'm kind of getting a little fatigued of the new sets, to be honest. I wish I could get into the Bloom Barrow set. I went to my local LGS. They were already out of stock of it. It's they can't keep anything in stock. So it's really difficult to kind of, keep up with the new sets and even get into the cards. I guess Amazon is probably a way, or just the singles, of course. So, I mean, there's a lot of good cards that come out. It's just overloaded, But you can always go pick up some Brothers War packs, and that's a great set. And of course, you have a card like Myrel, which is just a great human soldier. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So that's a really interesting ability for a couple of reasons, and I'll tell you why. Because I want you to imagine that you have a Reckoner Bankbuster or something, and you really, maybe if you're playing a 1-to-1 format, you kind of want to draw with your Bankbuster sometimes during your opponent's turn, or maybe even crew it, but you cannot. You cannot even activate your things during when this person has this on the battlefield, and Myrel is on the battlefield. Basically, it stops any of those functions. So it's a really nasty kind of artifact hate. Anything that has activated abilities, basically those are turned off when your opponent has Myrel in play. So you can't really interact with this card during your opponent's turn. So I mean, it's just kind of a brutal one where you can't cast your instants. You can't put any single target removal on this thing. It's just it's their turn and they get to do what they want. So that's a crazy ability already. So there's that. So what else? So whenever this creature attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. And that's a major ability too. It's definitely a go wide strategy, definitely a token strategy. It's definitely a tribal strategy because it pays you off for playing more soldiers. So you basically just want to curve in the best situation a 1-2-3 with your soldiers, or even if you're skipping the curve a 1-2 Myrel, and swinging with my Myrel, and then you're just all of a sudden creating 3 soldier tokens, because it sees Myrel, it sees the other 2 soldiers, and then it's off to the races from there. If you get to keep swinging with this thing, you're putting more soldiers on the battlefield. You're just kind of exponentially creating more and more soldiers. So we're gonna do a little bit kind of a fun relaxed video today. We're just gonna kind of be sleeving these up as we go, and Myrel is a pricey card. This is not a cheap one. So even the non-foil one has some dollars on it. So that's the one we got. That's the one we picked in a booster. So that's the one we're gonna be presenting. But maybe later on we can flash that out a little bit. So what about Myrel? What do we like about Myrel? Well, we love that she can do her best if she's given a little protection, because of course we are protected during our turn when we control Myrel, but we're not protected from it during our opponent's turns and such. So I do believe it's important to give yourself a little bit of protection here on the bottom end. I am missing a Mother of Runes, so that's one I have in favor of an Alseed. It's just in my collection just to kind of show off and kind of, just remind myself that I need to kind of get that in there. So, but we love Skrell because it just offers that sweet protection. Just love it. Just love that you can just pay some life into that and tap this thing, and you can protect your creature, give it hexproof for the turn. You can also give you can give your, prior to attacks, you can give Myrel like protection from a color and have her swing, which is nice too. So Skrell is very multifaceted like that, of course. This is the one I have in my collection right now, but this should be like a Mother of Runes, like just another like creature that can just like grant protection continuously. But this is just the one we have. I do think I will run Selfless Savior on top of the Mother of Runes because I want like 4 different options to protect Myrel. So here is the Giver of Runes, the ones we just mentioned. Just like a really nice one where, just offers protection from any color, colorless or from the color of your choice in the other turn. So just like maybe even it is probably a superior Skrell. But Skrell is a legendary, so like cards like Mox Amber get a little better. Like legendary matters things get a little bit better with Skrell. So there's our Giver of the Runes. Fantastic. So we're going to have a couple high rolls in this deck because we're going to play Collector's Cage. So I think our high rolls are like Elish Norn, Moonshaker Cavalry, and we have another Angel in here too. That's also happens to be a soldier, so we'll get to that. But I think it's important, like if we're going to be playing like a sweet card like Collector's Cage, which really benefits from a lot of different power creatures, and we're in mono white, I think we can definitely try to cheat our curve with like maybe an Elish Norn would be like a really nice hit, right? Of course, a Moonshaker Cavalry would also be very nice. These are just like some really big high rolls for us, especially with like, is there any other hideaways we want to run, like Rebel Rousing? I'm not sure. I have to look into that card, but for sure we're going to run Collector's Cage. So here's Mox Amber. This one's just good, at the bottom end. Like we're running Skrell. We're going to be running a couple other like legendary creatures as well. So there's a bunch of legendary soldiers. There happens to be, I did order it. It turns into a Gideon Planeswalker, so that one's coming in. It's kind of like an older card, but it's a 1-mana soldier, so I'll be getting a hold of that. That'll make this Mox Amber even better. You really got to fight for your ramp in these monocolored decks, huh? So a little bit of haste and protection from Myrel. Honestly, this is probably going to be like more of a Lightning Greaves deck. I don't foresee me targeting Myrel too much with abilities and things. Perhaps actually like the Skrell and such, right, guys? But, I mean, Lightning Greaves is kind of like a catch-all once it's equipped. So, Selfless Savior grants indestructibility, and that has to target, right? Some of them are more passive, some of the protections that we have. So, I'll probably run Lightning Greaves, though. Over Boots, because I'm going to definitely run Lava Spur Boots too, so we'll just kind of set that one over here still. Oh, this is just like a little bit of ramp stuff, just kind of generic ramp. Arcane Signet there, Soul Ring. Okay, and now we are at our Roaming Throne, so this is a nice one too, guys, right? And this is really good for doubling our triggers with Myrel. I once saw an opponent like playing this, and it had like some really good tech. They were doing some really cool things with the Roaming Throne and Myrel. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just naming Soldier, and you're doubling all those triggers, attack triggers that Myrel has. So that's really nice, right? I wonder how this verbiage is like. Because it's going to trigger twice, right? Like, I wonder if the first trigger sees the new ones that are created. Probably. If a triggered ability of another creature you control the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Yeah, it's like the Scoot Swarm thing, right? Where with Scoot Swarm, like for instance, if you bring out like 4 lands at once, the Scoots see those 4 lands at once, right? But once you crack that fetch land, then all the Scoots that were just created will see that fetch land trigger, and it's like exponential from there, right? So I'm pretty sure like if it's just stacked on top of each other, basically it would see the ones that come in, and then they'll create more than they would if they were just going off at the same time. That's what I'm trying to explain. So there's roaming throne, very nice. All right, so this is the one, Horn of Gondor. I just wanted to kind of show it because like I did try this card out. I tried it out a bunch of times, and I just didn't really jive with it, guys. It was just like it was kind of pricey to start to just create a 1/1 white human creature soldier token. Then you have to pay 3 into it too, just to kind of see all the soldiers you make, and then create more soldiers. I just didn't know, guys. I just didn't really jive with this one too much. I know some of you might really love this card, and maybe it's better in EDH, but in Brawl, it was maybe I just didn't do it. I don't know. What do you guys think? And if you have any ideas for this soldier deck, please let me know. Like, I just basically am starting off a baseline with all the soldiers, and then, we'll get into like the sweet instants and finishers later, but like, I really want to go like creature tribal seems pretty straightforward. Just focus on the soldiers, right? So, like the actual soldier creatures. So, oh yeah, I'll definitely be running snow though, because we get this sweet changeling here that can kind of be activated for a pretty decent, rate, and then we get all the benefits of another soldier on the battlefield. I love that for Faceless Haven. I think snow is very good just for that. Pretty cool interaction for that. All right, so we want to get some ramp, of course. So we have our Springleaf Drum. That kind of goes into our ramp, of course. And Path to Exile, a little nice single target removal here. We love that. An honorary soldier is coming up, an Adelino Dominerio. She's great. She just is even better when you're playing against multiple opponents. She just creates more tokens. They're not soldiers, but she just gets stronger and makes more stuff. So love Adeline. Just love her. Oh, we also love Lauren. Obviously, yeah, once again, not a soldier, but just a great human. Like, this is kind of like a human tribal, soldier tribal stuff I got going on so far. Just a really good choice just to be able to politic a little bit with Lauren, maybe help yourself out, give a certain opponent a card, also take out a problematic artifact or enchantment. And then you get like not the worst vigilant body, and then you can just kind of decide when you want to draw with it, once it loses its summoning sickness. Just a very cool card. I like Lauren a lot. Very good to blink too. We'll have ways to blink some things with Felia. Hey, there's Greaves. All right, so there's Greaves. Wow, we might even run Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, and Lava Spur Boots. We might just run the whole thing. Why not? Myrel kind of needs that support. We kind of need to give her a chance. Skull Clamp, I did see this one. I think it's an interesting one, an interesting choice. I think it'll like really help out our top end. Like when we start creating soldier tokens, we need gas. We can just start drawing cards with our soldier tokens. That's what kind of like I notice about in Brawl is that you'll just like absolutely waste opponents, but like you won't have too much gas left. You're just going to be kind of just swinging and praying, right? So Skull Clamp is kind of fits that void where it's kind of gives us a chance for some cards. I like that one. Selfless Saver. This is like really nasty tech. This is like a card where you're just going to be really frustrating your opponents with it because you can just go ahead and just activate this like when you must. And it's just kind of sitting there like, I have indestructibility on my board, and it's just kind of inevitability. And it's just, lets you kind of freely, it maybe like deter opponents from swinging into you. It's just kind of always there, like, wraths. It's good against wraths, let's be honest. So we like the Selfless Spirit. Not a soldier, though. Where's the soldiers at, Blake? We need to find the soldiers. Here's a sweet Emeria's Call. It just could be a land or a sweet spell that makes your creatures indestructible and makes them 4/4 angels. There's a sweet soldier. There we go. I was like, I'm ready, Blake. Let's go. It's like, you got it. Valiant Veteran. What a boss. This thing is a sweet it just buffs up your guys for 2 mana. Sweet. All your soldiers get 1/1. And then also has this ability, if it gets into the graveyard, exile a Valiant Veteran from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on each soldier you control. And there you go. My Ruby she hears me. She's like, Blake is making a video. A sweet soldier video. Resolute Reinforcements, just a little bit extra soldier gas. Let's let Myrel make as many soldiers as possible. So let's put more soldiers on the battlefield. That token you make with the Resolute Reinforcement is a soldier token. So there you go. Hey, this one's cool. This one's like a little bit of gas in our tank too. It's an Angel Soldier. Flying, whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attacked you. So a little bit of gasoline for us, a little bit of gas for our opponents that don't want to swing on us. Everybody's happy. Little group hug stuff. We love it. All right, so there's that. All right, I'm excited, guys. I like Myrel. I hope you guys too. I hope you dig it. Got some really sweet white cards here, of course. The Skyclave Apparition, what a house. You know what's surprising about this card is that it hits any permanent with 4 or less. It costs 4 or less mana. And that's really interesting. Like, you would expect, like, usually these kind of effects are like relegated to like 3 or less, and it's a creature too, which is amazing. It like hits the board, it can block. It just basically exiles that permanent. It becomes an illusion. When this thing dies or is removed, that thing that comes back is not the same. It's just like this, stupid token. So the Skyclave Apparition is a great card. Let's get it in there. All right, we just got some like new interesting lands, I suppose. Are we going to run the Razorgrass Ambush? I picked it up. Like, I guess we just try it. We are playing our Snowlands. If it gets in the way of like our Faceless Haven, like even once, we might like reconsider. But I mean, it's just 3 life, and to just play it as a land, which isn't so bad. And it's just, deal some damage. Could be a spell. I think we dig it. I don't think we hate it. Like, probably one of my favorite things to do with Felia, and like, I don't know what you guys do with your Felia decks. I haven't made one, but one of the best things I did on the Arena client was that I think I was playing this deck, and I had a Felia, and I actually blinked this like on turn 4, maybe turn 3 or turn 4, depending on how I was ramping. And I basically created 2 of these tokens, and the opponent like scooped immediately. It was devastating. So this is an amazing card, especially in Felia. Like, just creating this huge like body that's its power is equal to your amount of your artifacts and your creatures is pretty massive. And to blink, yeah, it's a legendary artifact. You can't have multiples in your deck and your constructed decks, really, because it's legendary. I mean, it could be all right, but you do have to notice the verbiage about that is legendary. So blinking this is really amazing. You get that new token, and it just comes back and does its thing. It also has this ability where you can tap 5 untapped artifacts under a creature's control. You need to be weary about, I mean, sometimes you may have to tap tap this included, but if you're able to tap those 5 untapped artifacts without including the Thousand Moon Smithy, you probably want to do that, because this will become tapped when it transforms, and then you won't be able to get the benefit of tapping it for mana and casting a spell to get an additional token. So be wary of that. And that is a Thousand Moon Smithy. It does create soldier tokens, by the way. So that's nice. There you go. All right, let's just go. So we got Bounty Agent here. This is the one that can just go ahead and destroy any legendary permanent as an artifact, creature, enchantment by tapping and sacrificing it. It's pretty messed up card, to be honest. Here's the Bastion Protector. This one's pretty nasty because it's going to just give Myrel a indestructibility and also give her 2/2. So that's nice. Yeah, that's really nice for us. A little bit of a buff. Indestructibility is good with Myrel, and she's a soldier. Let's go. This one just absolutely seemed like the most wicked thing for Myrel. I was like, dang, that's a crazy finisher. Like, all our creatures are just going to get, like, 6/6 till end of turn, like, because we're going to create, like, 6, you know, soldiers on, like, turn 5 or maybe more. And then, like, they're just going to all have 1/1 buffs for each of those creatures that come onto the battlefield? That's crazy. So there's the Gold Knight Commander. What a bomb. What a bomb for us. It's like an Embercleave on steroids. Bonder's Enclave. I thought this was a cool little tech here because, you know, we're gonna have creatures that are a little bit stronger in white, and you know, Myrel gets pretty strong too. So yeah, Bonder's Enclave. Yeah, I think we're pretty much gonna have that criteria met pretty well. So draw a card, activate this ability only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So you'll try it out. I mean, we're in colorless, so, or in one monocolor deck, so I think it's a good try. Try it out. All right, here is Guardian of New Benalia. So there's that. Just another nice soldier that can kind of swing in, and another scry if we enlist another creature, which is nice. Yeah, it has to tap one without Summoning Sickness. That's kind of the way it goes with that. And then when you do add its power to this creatures until end of turn, whenever Guardian of New Benalia enlists its creature scry too. Nice. Scrying is nice. And then discard a card, Guardian of New Benalia gains indestructible until end of turn, tap it. Sweet. It's a soldier. We love the soldiers. And this is like one of my favorite soldiers. This is like, I have a soft spot for like these 2 mana cards that are creatures that basically reduce other, you know, soldiers, basically their tribe by 1. There's one, I think it's called the Frog Tosser Banneret in my Anawan deck. It's a black rogue, and it also does the same function, and I just love it. It's like a pearl medallion for our soldiers. And it's a soldier, so it fits into our payoffs. So I just really like it a lot. Really like this one. Just a common. Valley Rush Banneret. All right, then we got Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. So a nasty one. It's gonna tax all our opponent's non-creature spells and ours. But we're gonna really focus on the soldiers as much as possible. So there's Thalia. What a bomb with first strike too. All right, let's get these over there. You know, this will probably just be a Myrel. I was thinking about like showing off my my ideas from my Maria deck. Maybe I'll just kind of like show you the cards that we're working with, because I'm really jonesing for that one too. But I mean, we got enough time on this video already, which is nice. All right, so here's a Coppercoat Vanguard. This is just another tribal payoff for us, where just all our humans get another buff, a 1/0, and have Ward 1. Really nasty. I mean, they can target this thing, right? But this thing just makes all our other creatures a little stronger and like a little more harder to interact with. I like that one a lot. Here's Boromir, also a sweet soldier. Just another one that can just grant indestructibility, just like that. Just whenever we need it. So we just love Aragorn or Boromir here. And additionally, if an opponent ever casts a spell with 0 mana or less, it's just countered. So hits those path of negations really hard. And those pitch spells, for instance. So yeah, you better be paying your mana or it's gonna get countered, right? So we got some sweet soldiers. We got some sweet ones. There's no doubt about it. Like, we're making our way through. Here's the Raven Inspector, just gas. Just go ahead and make me a clue, and we're good. We're gonna be fine because you're just 1 mana and you're gonna start the soldier train up. So we're rocking and rolling there. This is a soldier, guys. The Warden of the Inner Sky, Soldier Tribal. Look at that, baddie. This thing is a nasty one too. Really nice scrying there. And we can go ahead and tap those tokens we make and make a really strong Warden and kind of manipulate our deck along the way. So we just love that. Soldier. Very, very cool, Myrel. Very cool stuff. Here's Brimaz. Brimaz. Brimaz, he's a little more pricey. He's like an Adeline. He's got a big bod. Look at that. 3/4. Vigis. Makes tokens. Makes more soldier tokens. It's pretty badass. And whenever this thing blocks, you get to make more cat soldier creature tokens. And they all have vigilance, huh? They all have vigilance. Fantastic. They're all soldiers. What a bomb. Can't wait. Let me play my little where's he at? Where's my reducer? There it is. Yeah, let me go like turn 2 here into like a Brimaz and something else, and we're gonna be having a really good time. We're gonna have a really good time. Strionic Resonator, Blake? Sure. Works in Greasefang deck, so why wouldn't it work here? Let's go ahead and double up our triggers. Sounds good to me. But what's this? How did you get this, Blake? This is an M10 coat of arms foil. Look at this thing. It's seen better days, huh, guys? It honestly doesn't look good, like that bad, like from the most of the parts. Just these edges are just creamed, right? The back doesn't look terrible. It's an old card. It's an old foil, and I think I paid too much money for this. Yeah, I think I was when I was just starting to go to an LGS for the first time. I spent like $20 on this card when it's in really probably poor shape. But I'm not a foil expert, but I did get a sweet card, and it's coat of arms, so it's going in. We're definitely gonna run a coat of arms here. Our creatures are gonna be so freaking strong. We're gonna have so many soldier tokens, it's gonna be ridiculous. So yeah, that one's really nice for us. I can have 2 Thalias. Come on, man. Esper Sentinel. Yes. Esper Sentinel. The Sentinel, yes. This is a crazy card, guys. It's crazy even 1-on-1. 1-versus-1 formats. It's a bane. It's the bane of everyone. It really is. People hate this card. They'll go out of their way to take it out. So, yeah, we're going to draw lots of cards with that. That's pretty sweet. All right, here's Thalia, Heretic Cathar. I think she's aight. She'll be good in a multiplayer game, but she's going to hit some other opponents' stuff, like their non-basic lands. And it's so devastating when creatures come in tapped. Like, that's just, like, really annoying. So, overall, really annoying card, let's be honest. Here's some tech I want to try out. I definitely want to try Legion's Landing, just because it can offer us a little bit of ramp. We're going to be playing, like, a lot of... we're going to be attacking a lot with a lot of creatures. So I figured that, we'll be able to flip this pretty easily. And getting that extra ramp, I think, is good. And you could also create a token on it when you need to. So that's a nice one for us. I already sleeved up a Swift Boot, so we'll just kind of put that one to the side over here. Lava Spur Boots, nice. So there's our Lava Spur Boots, fantastic. Just a 1-costed artifact. We can equip this for 1. That creature will have ward 1 and 1/0 and haste. Sweet. We love all of that so much. Get my Myrel going as soon as possible. All right, then we have Guide of Souls, fantastic as well. So that's the new one from Mono Horizon 3, we're probably going to get a lot of energy from this guy and make one of our creatures like flyers and put little counters on them. It's going to be great. And gain some life along the way. It's fine. Giving Myrel flying is very good, right? Because it lets her swing in too, which is nice. And it gives her a little evasion, right? All right, here's the Ranger Captain. So we just picked these up at Commander Games like not too long ago. We'd like to get the card out any day. Wow, that's really tight sleeve. So there is the sweet Ranger Captain of Eos. Just love this to find like a nice one drop. It can find us like an Ocelot Pride. It can find us a Guide of Souls. It can find us like one of our other 1-mana soldiers if we need it. It's just a really nice choice. Could even find like Esper Sentinel. So there's so many choices. Such a good card. And then also we can like, you know, prevent an opponent from casting non-creature spells for a turn by sacrificing it, which is really nice. Here's the Sanctuary Warden. This is like one of our more high rolls for like our Collector's Cage. So there is that. A nice 5/5 flyer that can draw cards. It's indestructible itself with the shield counters for a given time. And yeah, just like it a lot. Here's Heliod. Just a nice option for us just to kind of keep us on the offensive. If we need to like blink something out on our opponent's side that's getting scary, or one of our things that we can get value from the enter of the battlefield triggers, Heliod really fits that nice little option. Here's one of my favorite cards that's not a soldier in the deck. It is the Invasion of Gobakon. And this one is really nice because you're going to flip this thing pretty easily, and then you're going to basically have like another like heroic intervention effect on the battlefield that's just sitting. And any of your creatures that attack on a given turn, they basically, I believe, they just get a 1/1 counter put onto them. So it's fantastic. It's really an amazing card. I really love this card. And you get to get into your opponent's hands. So one of your opponent's hands. So it's a really nice card. Just a really sweet one. And it'll tax it. Basically make it cost 2 more to cast. I do have Ocelot Pride. I didn't get that one out, but I do have it. I do have that $50 card. It's just sitting amongst this pile of stuff I got going on. So there is some of the cards I'm going to have in the deck. It looks kind of like, it's looking kind of like a deck. So let's take a look at it, I guess. It's so slippery. Nothing like when you just make a deck that the sleeves are so slick. So here's some of the soldiers that we got here today, guys. Just some really fantastic. Brimaz, where's your sleeve, brother? Brimaz. All right, there we go. So here we go, guys. This is all the goodies. Gold Knight Commander, what a bomb. What a bomb. These guys, these are just all the salvages. All the salvages. So I do have like I'd say about 10 more soldiers coming on the way. I kind of just did my research on it and found some other sweet ones. And there's really some really cool ones. Like there's one that's called like a catapult captain. And you can tap like up to 5 of your creatures, or maybe soldier creatures, to exile a given creature or maybe permanent. So that one's pretty nasty. So there's that. I think I'm maybe running Mana Tithe too for funds. Probably will. A little 1-mana counter spell, little sneaky one. I think I had this one too sitting too. This was from Modern Horizons 3. Just probably easy to have a plains to just make this come in and untapped and have a little gas there on the end if we need it. So I hope you enjoyed that little feature on Myrel. And go ahead and drop me a little red clicker on that subscribe. It helps me. It helps me feel good. I don't know, guys. Do whatever you want. Share with your friends, whatever. Or just, check out the Mox field. And I'll just link my Mox field in general, and you can just check it out. We have a couple Myrel brawl decks there. And this is just like the Myrel deck that I'm working on. It's going to be awesome, guys. I really like Myrel a lot. And it's just going to be a really sweet baddies. Like the baddest of the baddests. Like, Vaultborn Tyrant, all the sweet artifacts. It's just going to be a really sweet, like, kind of graveyard list. And we get to play Smuggler Surprise, which is just absolutely bonkers. This card is mega card for standard. This has probably got to be in the top 5. There's just no way this is not a top 5 card. This is probably good in most formats. It's good in Brawl, Historic Brawl, so it's probably good in most formats, to be honest. Portal to Phyrexia. We got Italy here. Just some really nasty. And then we have some nice mid bodies like Roxanne and Goldspan Dragon. Some really serious artifacts here, guys, like Shriekhorn to get into our graveyard. Shifting Woodlands to get advantage of that graveyard. Ruby just to like get offensive or just be a nice little attacker for us later on. Could put like a Lost Jite on there. Goldspan Dragon, Crater Hoof, just all the medallions, all the red and green medallions. Probably a God Pharaoh's Gift in there to get even more advantage from our graveyard because we're going to be juicing it up. Cityscape Level, Gamble, Faithless Looting, Noxious Survival, Paradise Mantle for just an obnoxious Maria value, and Sensei's Divine and top. Probably we'll play like Sylvan Library. Probably be a little more high-powered deck. We'll probably play like a Worldly Tutor in there and then just like let the cards fall. From there, really focus on like kind of the bottom, like the 2 drops and then like the 7 drops and beyond. And of course, it'll be a Doors of Durin deck. But that was it, guys. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.